What's up, everybody? Little Big Robot's back with hello. It's me in my animal shirt. How you doing? With another ridiculously large orc. As you can see, this is the McFarlane Toys Orc Meganob with Shuda. The box is huge. I think they're about 39 bucks a piece. As you can see, I have the first two orcs, which I'll compare with this guy here in a minute. Before we start all that, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscriptions by the end of 2022. Because oh no, I just noticed. Look, I mean, it doesn't matter. I keep the box, but I'm not worried about it. So, subscribe, like, all that jazz like that. Leave a comment. I love talking about toys with other people. Let's get this guy open. It's going to be really noisy, so I'm going to pause it and do it off video. Alrighty, we pulled him out of the package. Here is this one. He's pretty much, if you take a look at the other two orcs, this is the Shuda. I think this is Shuda with the one I was jumping. This is Buzzsaw. This is Grabba, something like that, because he's got these claw hands. You can see they're kind of the same orc, just different head sculpts or whatever. If you want to see the review for these guys here, as well as the rest of my Warhammer 40K review, there's going to be a playlist at the end of this video or in the description. You can check that out. They're really nice and chunky. They're not super posable. You have these kind of basic movements in the legs. I know that they're very, sometimes really hard to get into position, so be careful when you do this. Support it everywhere you can the first time you try to crank that, because you don't want to pop that out. I haven't had that happen to any of my McFarlane toys yet, but I'm never, you know. They all have this little cool little piston arm in the back. It's really a basic little, it's nothing but a little gimmick, but it's so hard to get going here. Let's see if I can. But you see how it kind of, it's a nice little effect there. It does prevent you from bending the arm much more than that, though. So it's a little bad in that way. But these guys are really just supposed to look cool on the shelf. Man, I'm tearing up my hands. The last one I've tried, I think it was this one. Yeah, the arm was loose. You see that? I've never had it. Almost everything I get from McFarlane is nice and tight. Now, it does loosen over time, of course. But they all have these huge backpacks and stuff, which I'll show in a minute. It's a shame. Oh, it does. It does. Yes. I was going to say, please make sure that this opens, because Buzzsaw here, for example, doesn't. His buzzsaws don't move. Look at that. That looks, I mean, on these big figs like this, like I said in my other reviews, one of the disadvantages that, I mean, you always get a great sculpt from McFarlane. They always look great in that aspect. The metal parts, they always do a nice metallic kind of sheen usually. But sometimes they just, like there's no wash in that cording there. And with a wash, it would look amazing. No wash here, that would look amazing. Here would look amazing. So there's just sometimes they have to pull back. Like I say, my theory, and I'm sure it's the truth, is that they have to pull back in some areas to save every little bit of money they can to be able to get these guys to you for only 40 bucks or under. The Marines are less than that. Speaking of, I'll show you here. Dog hair everywhere. This is the Marine, so they're not much larger than a Marine. They are, you know, the same height, a little bit taller, but they're just much, much bulkier. You can see there. So I don't, you know, I'm not as big on my Warhammer cannon as some people, but I believe that's okay. I'm going to take a look at that. I'm going to take, that's a good looking. Let's see if I can get a good face here. A little for the thumbnail. There we go. So, you know, you just get a big, imposing looking figure. If you wanted to take these apart and paint them more, you could probably leave them together and do it as well. Like I've taken these guys, they're really easy to take apart, pop back together, so you can pop off the head and customize them, wash them, dry brush them, whatever. These guys, I haven't attempted it yet, because frankly, they look pretty good. I would only probably wash some. There should be no nice white on an orc. The teeth look great. But I'd probably want to wash that, bring out the details just a bit more. You can see where there could be a little bit of dirt or blood in there. Usually, every one of them you get a backpack. This one's different than the other two. Is that not... Oh, that's the front of it. See, that needs to be washed. Is it me, or is that like a... No, what's the ones that have like the Psyker a tuning fork thing on the back. Is it like this one here? Something like that. But anyway, you get these nice big backpacks. They usually snap in there pretty easy. If not, one of my viewers suggested you could use hot water or even a little hot air to kind of stretch them in. I can't remember exactly what they said, so I'll see if I can recreate it sometime. And then on this last one, and on this one as well, which I just realized I'm missing that front part, you get this cool little frontal thing that snaps in here. But what I found is exactly like the last one I reviewed. You see the slots there you're supposed to fit them in? To get them in there, you have to kind of bend this open because they throw them into the package. But it's really hard to get them into the slot and have them sit there. You know, so it has like this kind of, you know, forward, like almost like a Terminator armor, you know, for Marines. Has this kind of, you know, protection there in the front. But it's so hard to get those in the little slots because they put this in the pack really, really tight. They kind of squeeze it in there, and it's literally being squeezed, so it's kind of formed to that shape. So what I would probably do, maybe I'd, like he was saying, maybe take a little air dryer or something, or even just hot water, soak that, and it'll loosen it up quite a bit, and then you can pop that in there much easier. That's what I want to do. I can't believe I just realized I'm missing that one. I wonder if I hope I didn't throw that away, because I keep the boxes, but I throw all the stuff inside away, so I hope he wasn't. I'm sure I have it somewhere. So they're all pretty cool looking. They're a lot of fun. They're just big, giant, dorky looking. I mean, like that, they look fantastic, don't they? And then you have the Marine, who just kind of looks like a cool Marine. I mean, this is easily one of my favorite lines. It's just fun and silly. They stand usually pretty easy once you get them in position. They're not hard to keep, you know, standing. They might have to adjust a little bit there because I just took them out of the package. But they have a little toe crunch, but it's not really going to do much for you as far as posing. See a little toe crunch there. Let's see if I can get him. How am I going to do that? His are kind of crooked, aren't they? His legs. And put this down. Let's put this one down a little bit. Like that. Oh, well, I'll mess with it a little bit. What's really funny is in these packages with these giant orcs, you get this tiny little McFarlane. This is maybe the size for a 7-inch Fortnite toy, which I also collect. But even on the Marine, it doesn't cover the whole stance. It's kind of ridiculously useless. I wish they would have simply made one that was as long as the package, made of the same material, had 2 prongs in it. Because look, you're supposed to put this, maybe one on each foot, but it's just ridiculous. But these guys generally stand on their own pretty well. They take to a good, you know, like a good shelf hit or two. I haven't had any of them fall down. And I'm always messing with them and taking them off the shelf and dusting them and rearranging them and stuff like that. But that's the 3 so far. I haven't heard if there's going to be any more orcs coming out or not. I'd like a normal orc, you know, like a standard kind of just without all the armor and stuff, just kind of like a normal grunt kind of soldier. Maybe these are kind of the grunt soldiers. But these are really, really fantastic looking. Could you imagine actually playing Warhammer with these guys? I know that one channel on YouTube was supposedly going to buy squads of these guys, which I now have squads of these guys, painting them up and playing giant-sized Warhammer, which that would be, everything would have to be, like instead of moving 6 inches, you'd end up moving like 6 times, so like 30, like 3 feet, 2 feet, something like that. So just fantastic. I love these toys. They're just so chunky, and you can just hit them, and they have a weight to them. They're just a really cool. It reminds me of being a kid and having just a great big chunky toys that I love. I mean, 10-year-old me would kill for these guys. This is just, I mean, you could throw them, smash them together literally in the mud. And these would be really good, speaking of that, these would be great for toy photography, you know, in a big muddy area or something like that. Snow, you know, you could pile stuff on them. You could do some cool effects on them, smoke effects. What a great line. Enjoy, everybody. Check out the playlist in the description. Be sure to subscribe to me. Leave a comment. Tell me what you like or don't like, because I'd like to do more videos that people like. And have a good one, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.